Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Content Supply Live, where we break down what's working in marketing today and how you can apply it to grow your business. In this episode, we're diving into some of the most talked about marketing campaigns from major brands and uncovering the strategy and uncovering the strategies behind their success. But here's the twist: we're not just admiring the big budgets and flashy ads. We're also showing you how small businesses like yours can use the same principles even with limited time and resources. Let's jump in. So the first campaign that I was going to show to all of you is the Apple Shot on iPhone campaign. This is a campaign that was launched in 2025. Well, actually, it started in 2015, and then it's just kind of been an ongoing campaign since then. The one that we're going to watch today is actually about the iPhone 16, so the most recent iPhone. This campaign showcases stunning photos and videos taken by real iPhone users displayed on billboards and commercials and across social media. Apple essentially turns its customers into content creators. So let's kind of react to this campaign. Let's see. And I forgot to mention, but this is a campaign of probably like 16, oh, I guess 18 videos. So, anyways, we will just watch. I think this is the seventh video.
Action!
Good evening and welcome to Apple Park.
When I heard that we were going to be shooting this Apple event on iPhone, it was kind of course.
Apple suggested that they were going to shoot the keynote on the iPhone 15 Pro. I thought it was the perfect place to showcase it. I agreed emphatically.
All right, here we go, lock it up.
This event being shot on a tiny little iPhone, USB-C out, powering 50 monitors, and it's going off without skipping a beat.
One of the most exciting and interesting things to see is like how not different it's been on set.
This whole piece was low light, and low light is a little bit more challenging, and we nailed that.
We were able to get the same complex shots on such a small device, similar to how we would do any traditional camera. We're on cranes, dollies, drone shots.
Drones going up.
We've really supercharged it all by having the ability to go to an external drive with USB-C and Apple Log.
Basically gives you sort of carte blanche to define your own look in post-production.
This new format has way more dynamic range, way more information, and gives you more options, more creative flexibility, and that's what we want.
We tested this phone through its lensing, light levels, the dynamic range, really figuring out how far we could push this phone.
I was incredibly impressed with the quality of the footage. The first second I saw it, I literally said, "This is the iPhone footage?"
You can treat it like you could an Alexa or a Venice or anything like that. So from an editing capacity, it's been easy to work with.
We're getting super clean, beautiful images. The results are here by the fact that we can shoot this event video on the iPhone 15 Pro.
All right. What are your thoughts on this campaign, Kate? And how do you think that small business owners can incorporate some of these marketing strategies?
Yes, I thought this campaign was awesome. And I remember seeing, like you said, Justine, there's like 16 videos. And I've definitely seen a couple of these. And I think it's super genius, especially because I think there's been some criticism in the past with Apple's like new designs and like switching the USB port. Even to me, I feel like it feels like a little bit of like a consumerism thing, like constantly switching these USB ports. So you're constantly having to buy new plugins for things. But I think this did a great job of showing at least what they want the perceived intention to be of that decision, and showing how powerful it is. Obviously, the everyday user of an iPhone is not going to be hooking it up to a drone and a bunch of different, um, like output things that were shown in this video. But it is cool to see. I think this campaign gives the consumer the idea or like the feeling of, oh, this is a powerful tool and I can't believe I'm only getting it at this price point. It's capable of so much. It's not just like a random iPhone. And if it can shoot that so well, what can it do for my Instagram pictures? So I think this is really well done. It actually reminded me of another campaign that Nike did. Actually, maybe this wasn't Nike. Sorry, this was here, I'll go back. So what I liked about this campaign was it showed Apple believing in its own products. Because obviously like they can shoot a keynote with these big fancy cameras, but isn't a big selling point for their own products, their nice quality cameras. So I remember in high school learning about this basketball player called, I'm gonna butcher this, but Stefan Marbury. And he came out with a shoe that was budget friendly because he was seeing Air Jordans were popping off at the time and they were selling for like hundreds of dollars. And these kids that come from less privileged areas were not able to buy them. But what Stefan did was Stefan, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm sorry. I apologize. But what he did was he created his own budget friendly line of shoes. And he himself would play basketball like in these big championship games wearing those exact same shoes. And so it showed that he believed in the product that he was creating. And so while it probably wasn't necessary, he could have done, I don't know, he could have worn his nice technical shoes and still made a really big amount of money selling his budget friendly shoes. I think it shows like brand authenticity, which people are definitely looking for in the brands they purchase from these days. So yeah, I think this ad to me was a really great lesson in brand authenticity and just for looking for ways, maybe out of the box ways where you can show your product in use and yeah, show that you stand behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And I like how you mentioned that like iPhone really believes in their product. So they like used it to shoot this commercial, which I think is really cool. That's not something that a lot of companies do. I feel like, I mean, based on like the phone and everything, I feel like Apple is the only one that's really doing this. You don't really see Samsung going and shooting a video with like one of their newest phones.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool by Apple. And I think it also goes to show for like small business owners and like small business marketing teams that you don't need these like super fancy, expensive cameras to shoot a really high quality commercial or video. You can just use your iPhone camera. And if you're using it the right way, just like Apple was in this video, then you can definitely shoot a really high quality video on a budget, which is really nice. So everybody can be a content creator just from your camera on your phone. So I think that's a key takeaway for me. Let's see. So let's go to our next campaign. This one is Airbnb. The campaign is called "Made Possible" by hosts. So in this one, Airbnb shifted its message during and after the pandemic to highlight the people who make the travel experience possible, the hosts. Ads showcased real homes and personal stories celebrating human connection. So let's watch this one and react to it as well.
Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the skies. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb or not? Let us die young or let us live forever. We don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in the sandpit, life is a short trip. The music's for the sad man. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever and ever.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this campaign?
This was an interesting one. I really like the sentiment behind it of focusing on the hosts. I think one of Airbnb's big selling points is that it's not going to feel like you're in some sterile hotel, and this is a great way of showcasing that, oh, these hosts are real people. They care about your experience, and it's going to be a different feel staying in this home than it is a big building or a big hotel. One thing, if I can be critical about this,
Yeah.
if I were the creative director of this shot or this commercial, I maybe would have done, instead of like a little slideshow of pictures, almost like a B-roll. I don't know what the right term is for this, but almost like an ASMR type
Mhm.
reel, like a little sizzle reel of their camp out or their stay at that lodge. So like splashing in the water, like their laughter, like knocking over of board games, things like that you really feel like a little bit more like immersed in the experience. And then maybe shown these shots of the host like leaving them notes like, oh, welcome, enjoy your stay. I don't know if they're signing like a guest book, things like that. I think it could have made it a little bit more immersive and translated like the sentimental tone of this even more clearly.
Mhm.
But yeah, what are your thoughts, Justine?
Yeah, so I totally agree. I feel like, yeah, maybe you should be the creative director for
I know.
Airbnb.
That's what I'm thinking.
No, no, I do think that that would have been cool. I do like the idea behind it though. I like the idea of having like real people in the video, having real experiences and real moments that happen while you stay at an Airbnb. And I think that's really cool. I feel like for small businesses, it's really important to feature the people behind your business. Airbnb featured all their hosts, or at least one host in this video, and I think that's really important for small businesses. To feature their team in their videos, and also their customers too, and showcase all that you have to offer. Um, but yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it and how to tie it into small businesses. But yeah, I really like Airbnb's commercials and ads. I feel like they like really hit home.
Mhm.
And I don't know, they're really personal, and even though they aren't necessarily like in this one, for example, there were no words spoken. There were words like on screen at the very end. But it was still telling a story, and those are my favorite type of ads. Like
Yeah.
we've seen like Super Bowl ads we talked about a couple months ago when the Super Bowl was happening. Like our favorite ads are the ones that actually tell a story, and tell the brand story too. So I think that's really important too when designing your marketing campaigns. Um, Okay, all right. Well, big brands may have big budgets, but you've got the creativity, and authenticity to make just as big of an impact in your space. Um, Let us know what your thoughts are on these two ads that we shared with you below. Tell us how you would improve them and how you might incorporate them into your small business. And we will see you next time on Content Supply Live. Bye.